Happy Saturday and welcome to the Marketing Madmen. Nick Constantino here, and we have a pretend show followed by the real show. So with me, I have Candice from Exovations. Do the voice, please.
Hi, this is Candice from Exovations, and have I got a tip for you.
And we do have tips. We have tips on what not to do, what you've screwed up at, and what everyone else in the world has to get better at so we don't lose our minds. Before we get to that, Candice, how you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. How are you, Nick?
I'm very happy to have you. So for everyone out there, just give a brief what you did, work, Exovations, what you do every day. Your title is like mine. It's just called Run Around in Circles and Do What Needs to Be Done. But give a little preface into why we're even having this conversation.
So basically, I'm a fireman because I run around and put out fires all day. Just kidding, kind of. So I'm the business development director with Exovations. I've been there for 23 years. I started front desk.
You were 12, right? When you were 11? 5 years old? Okay, that's about right.
Because you and I are the same age, so you should know that math.
24 years old.
And I've just kind of worked my way up through the company and, you know, kind of love the people there and what we do and blah, blah, blah.
Give a little bit of a background, Exovations, talk about who they are, kind of business you do, and what the customers and clientele you interact with is.
So Exovations has been in the local Atlanta area. We're located in Cumming for almost 30 years. We do all exterior renovations, remodeling, and thanks to the awesome branding from you, everybody should know who we are. So
that's a good way to put it. However, talk a little bit about who the customer is. Talk about the staff and the people you work with. Get a real feel for it, because I think a lot of people, they hear names, they see trucks driving around, but they forget that this is a makeup of people who have interactions with clients. Just set the scene a little bit of what your day-to-day looks like, besides the fire drills, because there's positives also.
So we like to think of ourselves, and we kind of prove that, as just being a little bit different from your typical contractor in the industry. That's kind of our culture. That's where the bottom line of our integrity is. We're going to treat your house like we would treat ours. Our clients are well educated.
Yeah, they got money to spend. They want to spend it, but they're looking for somebody. Here's the way I could say it, and from what I've known from you and from Rune, they don't want the hassle of all of the problems that come with it. They're not looking for the cheapest. They're looking for someone to get it done, so they have the peace of mind to know it was done the right way without all of the BS. And I think that's a good theme for a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about, right? Everyone throws buzzwords out on, man, you can buy Google reviews for nothing. Like, this whole system is a game. But you guys have been doing it for a long time. You've been advertising it for a long time, and you have a lot of people that stand by you. So I think that puts us in a position to be able to have the conversation that we're really here to have.
No, I agree. And I agree with that. You know, people are willing to pay a premium for the process where they don't have to deal with 5 different people, or if they do have a problem, because it is construction, you know, shit's going to happen. You can call us. We're going to be there. We're going to answer. We're going to handle it. We're going to take care of it.
Love it.
It's the non-worry that I feel like brings people to us.
And for me, in my life, that's been something, there's certain things you age into, right? And when you're young, you're like, you don't care if it's cheap or on sale. And then you realize it's cheap and on sale because nobody wants it and the material's crap and it's going to break a week later. And you kind of age into it. And it's funny, I joke with people about like sports radio. Like, when I was young, I was like, who would listen to that? I don't understand. Like, I watch the games. I don't understand why people listen to that.
I say that now. No, I'm just kidding.
But the truth is that there's something about familiarity. Your life is so busy. Getting in a car and turning on the same thing and shutting your brain off for a little while to hear other people talk is something you kind of grow into. So I think you grow into, why am I going to fight for the cheapest price when this person is just going to screw all this stuff up? No, and you age into that, which represents the clientele of who you reach well, which also represents the station well. Okay, so we did the small talk. Okay, so let's start the fun stuff. So we're getting to the end of the year. This has been a wackadoo year for so many reasons. Just election cycles, wars, just all this crazy stuff. I mean, you know, you could set any political or any geopolitical stage you want, but it's been a wacky year. Would you agree?
I would agree wholeheartedly.
Unpredictable. And I think that some of the skill sets that you have, that I have, that I think we share in common, of just being able to bounce from place to place and be in a situation, are starting to shine as valuable assets, right? When I interview people, it's not where did you go to school, it's when shit hits the fan, tell me what you do.
No, I agree.
And some people freeze and don't know how to answer. And
I don't even want to see your resume. Like, I want to give you the situation and figure out how you're going to handle it.
Yeah, here's the situation. Let me rip this resume, I'll throw it in the garbage. Give me a speech. If
here's an escape room. How are you going to get out?
Screwed. Well, the obvious answer is get hammered and chill there until someone comes to get you. That's an easy one.
At least have fun.
Okay. So I'm going to call this is from an old Family Guy episode. This is called What Really Grinds My Gears. And this is not things that bother you in a day. This is things that piss you off that if we just fixed, we would be better off.
Okay.
You ready to go? So we'll
Let's
bounce
go.
back a little bit. We can have these come into more stories. I'm going to start with one because there's one word, it has nothing to do with marketing, that pisses me off more than anything else. And that is the word artisan. And if you tell me your bread is freaking artisan, or your restaurant is artisan, or you're this, what does it even mean if everybody has something to be artisan? It is just a word that means nothing. This is my artisan sourdough bread. It's made in a factory in Shanghai and we ship it to America, but it's artisan. What is artisan about it? Why are we using a word that has no meaning whatsoever? It pisses me off so bad. So on the theme of that, is there a word specifically that pisses you off? And if you need a second, I got hundreds of them, so I can keep going.
I might need a second to think on that. I don't usually get angry at words, just people. But what is your next word?
The next word I have is synergy. It pisses me off. Synergy is literally two companies merge, and the reason they're merging is because there's too many redundant positions and people are going to get fired. That's not a positive thing, but like let's synergize. Let's get together and just optimize all this stuff.
So the buzzwords.
The buzzwords. There it is. They piss me off so bad. I don't understand. No one has anything behind. They end there. So there's two things they say. One is let's just work on those KPIs, or we'll create synergies. Okay, elaborate a little bit. Do you want to go into a little bit more information about what any of these things mean? It bothers me so much. I don't understand why we use them. I don't understand why restaurants use them. And I don't understand why they use the same word 500 times until they beat it to the ground and then they have to retire the words.
I think it's because they're trying to sell you something that doesn't exist.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Right. They're trying to take a negative and spin it into a positive. So if we just code it with some happy, positive words that everybody uses and nobody really knows what they mean, then it's going to sound better. So you can...
I mean, we're even guilty of it. Like you can't even say radio anymore. So you have to say audio. Right? First off, if you're doing a podcast, all you're doing is a radio show on the internet. Like these words don't change, or an influencer versus an endorser. And I've even caught myself having to use them. But in my instance, it's because the other people don't understand it unless I say it that way. I see it more in the way when I open a restaurant, it has to be artisan. No one's going to come unless it's artisan. Does it really matter? Have you ever had a chicken parm sandwich and been like, this isn't artisan, put it down, stop the presses?
No, never.
Never.
But I might have bought some artisan bread before.
Again, did you buy it because it was artisan? Did you ask what the artisan's name was?
I was like thinking about a tomato soup, grilled cheese, and the thickness of the bread. So it wasn't the word. It was more like the dynamic of the bread would make it a good grilled cheese candidate.
So, but again, is the thickness of the bread associated with the artisanness of the bread?
No.
But look,
not for me.
The only thing, we go overboard, and everything needs a buzzword. And the problem with the buzzword is it's fake bad marketing, right? If you're going to market around a buzzword, make it unique to your business. Make it something like, it's a buzz phrase, but have I got a tip for you, right? There's no interpretation. What you're saying is I have a useful bit of information and we're going to hammer home this piece of information is something you should open your ears up to. That's a beneficial marketing thing. You're not making false promises. You're just saying, I personally am telling you a tip that I know that I believe you should listen to.
No, I agree with that. And sometimes we actually do the opposite of what people do, and we promote what a negative is with ourselves, with other contractors. You know, it's not always just rainbows and sunshines. If I got a tip for you, it's like, this has happened to people. Look out for these things.
But you are more mature and you're more responsible in business than to just bash the other companies.
Of course.
You're saying here's a way to avoid it. And I think
just do that off air. It's fine.
Right. And it's pretty clear who you're bashing. The reputation. One of the things I do appreciate nowadays is the reputations of companies come to the surface a lot faster, I think, than they used to, because you can't fake a Better Business Bureau report. Like there are certain mechanisms there to at least catch the people who are completely full of it. Not 100%, but I think that's a good thing. Another one that I absolutely hate is just conceptually, we've gone overboard with clickbait, and everybody has to do it, and you have to grab somebody's attention. And I get how journalism works, but like you will go on a thing and it'll be like I wanted to make French onion soup. Of course, artisan French onion soup.
Of course.
But I wanted to make French onion soup. So I look at French onion soup, and you know what it does? It says French onion soup recipe. And then it gives you 600-word story of how the one person went to Gruyere to get this cheese. I go, I didn't ask for any of that. All I want is the freaking French onion soup.
Does it say skip to the...
None of that crap, because they want you to see every ad and they just preload, even though I won't look at any of them. So they get their click because it's a viewable impression. And like I get the game because I'm used to it, but the concept of clickbait, all I do is I X out immediately when I see those things happen. When I see somebody hook me, I had one today. You want to hear clickbait? We were about to buy national championship tickets for a client, right? Big spending client, probably. So it says 15% off your national championship tickets. I'm like, oh my God, jump out of my seat. It's time to buy them. In the smallest print on the bottom says up to $25.
Oof.
Okay, the tickets are $3,000. What does $25 do? Your algorithms know that. Who is stupid enough? But the problem is
they don't read the fine print.
But it gets you all the way to the end. You're all excited, and then it kicks you right in the nuts and says, "Ha, just kidding. It's only $25 off." So you know what I do? Unsubscribe, erase SeatGeek completely, and I will never use them again. And it's frustrating that business has to resort to these tactics to do things that should be simple.
I agree.
It's sad.
That pisses me off.
It's sad. Like, and they joke about algorithms. You know, if you had just lied to me and said it was $100 more and then dropped it $300, I would have freaking bought it on the spot, and you would have made hundreds of dollars. But instead, you're trying to trick people, and I just think it's not sound business, and it annoys me.
So I will say that's been my biggest struggle in the position, going back to work stuff, is having...
That's the goal, inevitably, at some point.
A call to action. Because if you're comparing yourself with everybody else in the market, it's just what you said. The call to action is going to be a fake sale, a gimmick. Buy here, buy one, get one free. Nothing is free. Is anything free? People throw that word around.
No, the advice on this show is free if you listen to it. That is free advice that's coming out right now. Hot takes and free advice. Other than that, nothing's free.
No, not at all. So it's a clickbait, even in audio advertising.
And everything.
That you're trying to just hook somebody, get them to your site, let you in their house.
And here's an addition to that. So also, the other thing that they make a mistake at is they make price the sticking point. And if you make price the sticking point, you are a commodity. And if you're a commodity, when I go buy milk, I'm buying the cheapest milk because all milk is the same. Right? Like, there are certain things that are just...
You believe that?
Yeah. I believe it enough to know that, is it going to really make me search through and read the ingredient list on milk? Absolutely not. I'm going to buy the one that's on sale and the one that's the easiest to get at that moment. But for these businesses, if price is your only sensitivity, you become a commodity and you're just fighting for the bottom. And your margins are low. You have no brand. If something goes bad, you're screwed. So I think I accidentally brought us to a conversation about marketing. I think that's a good time to end the first segment. So we'll be right back. You listen to the Marketing Madman at Extra 106.3.